Eat, sleep, bet, repeat. That's how we get down on the opening line at EliteSportsBetting.com. And I am very excited for this show here today. So we have some games going on right now in esports. A little bit of League of Legends going on. And one of the questions we get a lot in chat is, hey, I used Moose's article to make a lineup, but I have no idea what's going on here. So here's what I want to do today, Moose. I am going to share my screen because let me double check here. Yep, I have it up on the other screen right now. So I'm going to share my screen and I kind of have you talk through what's going on out there. So a lot of those clubs who are starting to play have a little bit of an idea of, what the hell they're looking at, because that's a question we keep getting. So give me a sec here. I'll share this, and then I will kind of get out of the way and let you do your thing.
Oh, this is really nice. Okay, then let me pause my thing then.
All right. You can see my screen and all?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
All right, go ahead. You take it away then.
All right. So one of the things that I wanted to also talk about today was just related to this is esports live betting and League of Legends live betting. One of the things that I love to do is live bet on a game after the draft happens. That means that after the players pick the champions that they're going to play, you have a really good idea of what team composition each team is going to be composed of and what they're going to be able to bring to the table. And that gives me a big edge on the market, because the market doesn't really know what is happening. They just see, characters picked on a screen. They see champions picked. They have no clue like what the champion does or anything. The odds makers don't care about that. They just care about the action. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a leg up. So right now we're looking at a game between G2 and Mad Lions. Right now this is the League European Championship playoffs. This is the first round. G2 are the first seed. Mad Lions are I believe the fourth seed or the sixth seed. But anyways, they're the Mad Lions group. They're a younger group. They're a rookie group. G2 are the solid vets, the hardcore players, the real experts in this case. They actually blew the first game, and they're going to be they came back in the second game and won it. And now we have the third game here. And basically, what you're seeing is that the players are mobilizing at 10 minutes is essentially when the laning phase starts moving from lane fights to team fights. But in this case, we already have a 4-1 score in the Mad Lions' favor. Now, if you look at the center of the screen, you can see the kills. It says 1-4. So Mad Lions are up in the kills right now. They've got more kills on their side. You can see Perks in the mid lane right now fighting Humanoid, and they're going to do a little bit of damage to each other, but disengage and whatnot. At the same time, if you look to the left and right of the respective kill scores, you'll see the gold score, and the gold will tell you how a team is actually doing. Don't look at the kills; look at the gold. If a team is down 3-10, it doesn't mean they're losing if the gold is the same. It means they've just done more on the map. The other team has just been more efficient in getting kills. There's different ways to get gold and win this game. The goal of the game isn't to get kills necessarily. It's more so just take down the Nexus, and you can do that multiple ways. So we have a team fight here in the bottom lane, so I'm going to cover it a little bit afterwards. Essentially, what you're looking at here, this is our bottom lane. So you have Mickey, he's the G2 support, with Caps, the G2 AD carry, and Caps is playing a really overpowered character right now called Aphelios. The longer the game goes, the stronger Aphelios really is. And Yankos, you can see right here on the screen, is playing this spider character called Elise. She's a jungler. So Yankos plays in the jungle. He doesn't play in a lane. He's like a player that roams and tries to set up team fights. So Mad Lions right there came out, and they're going to get a good pick right here. They almost killed the top laner Wonder, who's probably one of the best top laners of all time right now. He's a legendary player, and he's a really big veteran. So you saw that he dodged some abilities there. Just to talk a little bit more about the Mad Lions, I don't really particularly like their composition in this matchup. I like the G2 composition a little bit more. It makes a little bit more sense to me, and I'll explain a little bit more about team comps. But essentially, you have a Rome, the top laner, playing an AP carry mid laner type of champion called Nico. And she's not a very good top laner. I don't know why they picked her. I think it was just kind of like let's give this a try type of pick. But Mad Lions, you can see they're actually winning this game. They have a 1.5K gold lead, and they are pushing towers. They're pushing objectives. They're trying to get picks on the map. You can see Shadow, their jungler, is using a very strong jungler right now named Lee Sin. And what Lee Sin does is he'll throw a bubble to you, and then he'll latch onto you with that bubble, fly all the way to you, and then he can actually kick you backwards. It's a pretty crazy ability. So Mad Lions, they're going to get another turd here. They're trying to get picks. You can see Humanoid trying to kill Perks in the mid lane. Karzi gets a pick with the Ezreal ult. That ult is like a big wave of ult. But essentially, Mad Lions are looking really poised to win this game. So as you can see, because G2 lost the mid lane turret, they're having Cap stay in the bot lane and pick off that turret, and then he's going to run away as soon as he picks off that turret. So the goal is the same. Kill the turrets, make your way all the way into the base, break the base, kill the Nexus.
Right, everybody following along with all that stuff. I was able to follow most of what you were saying here. Basically what we're looking at here at the moment, and you tell me if I'm wrong.
Watch this, watch this. Look at this. Look at this. He does this clean ultimate, and then he kills this guy running away. It was really, that's like a skill shot. Like, it's really hard to hit that shot.
And that's why they're winning right now at the moment. So you mentioned something that that I think we should explain a little bit more to people. A lot of people get excited about the kills, and even for fantasy, you know, you get points for the kills and all that stuff. But that's not really how to win the game, right? Like, that's not really telling you who's winning or who's doing better, because you got things like, you know, the turrets and, you know, all the dragons and everything else that pop up that give you gold as well. You know, kind of explain the significance of the gold and, you know, what it means, and, you know, what being up 2,000 or 3,000 gold here is, you know, is kind of akin to.
Yeah, so 13 minutes in, a 3,000 gold lead is a very strong lead. It's considered a very strong lead. You're not going to see anything usually about 1,000 or 2,000 unless the team is really breaking the other team apart. In this case, you know, the G2 is slowly starting to whittle down this gold lead because they're just more efficient and like more veteran players, so they're able to be more composed and continue playing. But essentially, the gold is a significantly more important thing than the kills. But you can see here that the Mad Lions don't care about that. They're just going to push down the bottom lane and try to get some picks here. So they catch Mickey out. Nope, they don't get any picks. Yeah, they almost managed to get some kills there too. They're setting up really good team fights. They're just not able to finish them just yet. But as the champions get stronger in the game and they buy more items, they're going to get stronger. But right now, you can see clearly on the screen that it looks like the Mad Lions are in the driver's seat of this game. They've got almost a 3K gold lead at this point, and 15 minutes in, like, I would say G2 is pretty behind. Not only that, but you can see all the way on the top left of the screen, you can see that there's a mountain drake up. There's a little mountain sign. And then you can see that right now, the Mad Lions are taking the mountain drake, and they're going to be pushing into the 3rd and 4th drakes. The more drakes you gather, essentially, the stronger you get in League of Legends. And the 4th drake will give you what is called the soul for that drake, which really is a significant power spike. So now you see that it says on the screen, the cloud wins quicken. So that means that the next drake will be a cloud drake, and then every other drake after that will be a cloud drake until somebody gets the soul. So there is a cloud soul. It's semantics, but the point is that, like, it's the Mad Lions are winning right now pretty convincingly. They're still holding a 2.5K gold lead. And G2 is trying to come back by farming. They're trying to essentially not set up for team fights just yet. They want to hit their item power spikes. So that's why you see that G2 is not engaging. Their goal is mainly to clear vision control, clear out the opponents out of their space, give space for their carries to farm, and then from there try to carry out team fights. That's kind of what they're doing. So you can see right there, Wonders almost got a pick in the top lane, but the Mad Lions are looking to engage. They're very aggressive right now, because they don't want that lead to slip. They understand that they have an advantage, and they understand that G2 is a better gold farming team they are. So what they're trying to do is basically prevent G2 from farming by killing them and becoming too strong for G2 to overwhelm them. So in this game right here, you can see that they're setting up for a pick in the top lane. So that's why you have Mickey, the support, helping Wonder out so that he can stay here and doesn't have to leave or go back. Yanko, the jungler, is also watching the top lane, which leaves the bottom lane kind of vulnerable, but it's a little like G2's window is kind of sinking here, because we're entering the team fight portion of the game, and you see here that they're trying to make a pick here at the top on Humanoid, but they're just not strong enough yet, and I stand corrected. For some reason, he decided to go back in against 3 people, and that's a rookie mistake.
Yeah, so that actually is, basically from what you're saying, and you tell me if I'm following what's going on here the right way, and if I'm looking at this the correct way here. What they're both taking very different strategies in this game, right? So you're looking at G2, who's basically trying to power themselves up so that they can win fights later on in this game. And they're doing that by doing, the farming and trying to get their gold up and their XP up that way. Whereas knowing that they're doing that, Mad has decided we don't want to let them get more powerful. Right now we're winning. We are the more powerful team. We have the bigger boosts. So we want to try to attack and engage right now, because if we can do that, we can keep them from getting up to their full power and really giving us a problem later in the game in team fights.
Yes, exactly. And one thing to note for sure is that we can see the goal difference, and we can see that G2 is slowly whittling away at the goal difference, even though they did just lose. They did just lose.
Yeah, it's down to like 1,200 now, and it was 3
yeah. But the players can't see that. The players don't know. The players don't know how much of a goal advantage they have or how much of a goal advantage they don't have. All they see is the kills, and they're not going to do the math in their head. I mean, they have a general idea because they're pros. Oh, we're down about this much gold. We're down about an item or half an item or something like that. But they don't know. They don't know for sure. But so a lot of the times, rookie players will try to go for like a desperation move or try to kind of lose their composure because they're like, oh my God, we're down 2-6, we're down 2-8, we're down 2-10. Like we really need to pick up kills. In reality, the game isn't so much about the kills. China disagrees. They just want to kill everything. And, if we watch an LPL game.
It's like real life. China just wants to kill everything and everything.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the way, one thing that you guys will notice is that the European League of Legends is very based around strong team fighting and strong compositions that carry into late game. And Korea does the same thing. They want to farm and then they want to play the late game and they want to beat you with economy. Europe wants to beat you with either economy or they want to beat you with team fighting. China, they literally just bash all 5 people together, and it's just whoever wins. Like they don't care. They don't care if they're the last person alive. They're not going to try to get out. They will fight till the end.
It's basically a melee.
That right there is as you can see, a very veteran move. You see Jankos in the top lane. He's doing what is called counter jungling. So Jankos is playing on the blue side of the map, which is the lower side of the map right now. And the next game, G2 is gonna move to the red side of the map, which is the side that Matt is playing right now. And Jankos is doing counter jungling, and you can see Shadow's doing counter jungling because he's in the bottom jungle. He's on enemy territory doing jungling, taking away mobs from the other jungler. But while Jankos was upstairs, the top laner got picked off because he walked right into the jungler with no vision. So this is something that is a very rookie mistake. And you can see now that our gold is almost even. The only real advantage that the Mad Lions have at this point are the fact that they have a stronger team fighting composition right now, and the fact that they have 2 Drakes. So they're going to be looking, basically in these games, you have to establish what is called a win condition. G2's win condition is farm, try to make the best. Mad Lions' win condition is get picks like that, get good kills, and get the Cloud Soul, because they're 2 Drakes away from the Cloud Soul. And from this, they're going to be able to pick up another Drake right here. So as you can see, G2 just lost Caps. They just got picked off. So they're not going to want to fight for this Drake. I mean, if I was their coach, I would be yelling at them not to fight for this Drake. This Drake is useless right now for them. It's not going to, they really need to leave. Like, this is bad. No, he's going to go for it. He's at, okay. So he just decided to throw something out there. But so at 20 minutes, as you can see the clock at the top of the screen, at 20 minutes in the game, the Baron spawns at the top left corner of the map. And right there, the Baron is one of the most important objectives of the game. It makes the minions around you stronger. It makes you hit turrets and the base and objectives faster. And it gives you a buff. And it lets you recall faster. It lets you go back to base faster. So it's a very significant buff in the game. It's not as important as the Elder Dragon, which comes out after somebody gets a soul. But it's still as important. It's still like the next important thing. It's like Baron is a very important buff. And what I would if I was Mad Lions right now, their power spike is still really strong. You can see that if you look at the bottom of the screen, you will see the champions that each player has selected in the lane that they play, going top, jungle, mid, AD carry, support. And you can see that Karzi, the rookie AD carry for Mad Lions right now, has 4 kills and 1 death, and above it you'll see it says 400 gold at the bottom of the screen. That means that's his bounty. So that he's been doing so well that he actually has a bounty. Whoever kills him is going to get an extra 400 gold. He's already completed 2 items. He's completed a very strong item called Trinity Force. It's one of the strongest items in the game, and that's why he's going off and hitting people for such a large amount of damage. Meanwhile, Caps, the opposing AD carry, isn't nearly as power spiked, but the longer the game goes, the stronger Caps is going to get. So right there is another trade. Like you can see what the Mad Lions are trying to do is they're really trying to prevent G2 from farming up, because there is a significant difference in farm, and the longer Mad Lions go, the less chance they have of winning. So every team has a win condition. So the win condition is, how do we win this game? And you have to establish that win condition early on. If a player like Karzi breaks out ahead and he has 4 kills on a champion and he's very fed, that's what you call it, fed, then your win condition is making sure that he succeed in team fights and he carries the team fights and your team wins. G2's win condition isn't that. It's to get off little picks like this, farm up a tower, make their way back into the game with their farm, force a late game where there's much stronger team composition can really show for itself.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, things are really evening up pretty quick right here. They just picked up G2 just picked up another kill. We're down to only like less than 1,000 gold that are separating them right now between these two right here. So, you know, this game has gotten a lot more even from what we were watching a little earlier today.
Wow, it is very even. You can see right there that Mickey just went for a really crazy play. He flashed over the wall. He burned one of his abilities that won't be up for another 3 minutes to try to grab somebody over the wall so that they could get this pick. The reason why G2 went for this team fight is because the Baron's on the map, and in 2 minutes, the Cloud Drake is going to be in the map. They cannot give up another Drake. If they give up another Drake, they are going to give up the Cloud Soul, because that is the 4th Drake to Mad Lions. That right. Cloud Soul will provide additional cooldown reduction on all the champions on the Mad Lions ability side, and it is a permanent buff. So it is by far the least strongest one. I would say that the Mountain, the Inferno, and the Ocean Soul are much stronger buffs, but the Cloud Soul is still something that is going to give somebody like Mad Kaiser playing a champion like Set, where he just throws you around all day and smacks you with his fists. It's going to be a big difference for him. Humanoid playing on Lucian is going to be a big difference for him. Ezreal it's honestly, it's setting up like a good game for Mad Lions. They just need to make sure that they pick the right objective here. And what they can do right here actually is, if G2 goes for the Drake, because G2 has to take this Drake, right? So what would be Mad Lions' win condition? Give up the Drake and go for Baron. If they can get Baron here, then they can try to end the game. They can try to push into a late game that is very unfavored for G2, and all G2 are going to have are 1 Drake. So that's kind of what I would plan. It looks like the Mad Lions are going to be setting up for a Baron take, which they're trying to regain vision, because you can see all the little blue marks on the ground. Those are wards, vision wards for the side of G2. Vision is a very important part of this game, and supports are mainly in charge of providing that vision, supports and junglers, which is, you know, a whole different aspect of the game that I'll talk about at some time. But essentially, vision is, you know, if you can't see the person, you're not going to be able to kill them. So the more vision you have, the more information you have on the map, the better you're going to be able to do. So you can see right here, the Mad Lions are making their way down. It looks like they're going to get trapped in for a team fight right here, and they're going to have to force a team fight. And this is really bad. So the Mad Lions left their jungler by himself, and the G2 got the pick that they wanted. So now Mad is down a person. They still think that they can win this fight. So that's why they're making their way over to the Drake. So right here, they're giving up so this is exactly what I'm talking about. So they're giving up this Drake. This Drake is getting whittled down by G2. The Mad Lions are going to try to force a fight off of this. I wouldn't have done that. I would have gone to the Baron and try to force a Baron, or try to force a team fight. You can see right here the G2 slowly trying to creep through it. Yeah, Yankos comes in on Elise. Elise is a very aggressive jungler, but late game she is not as good because she falls off. But now Yankos on the Elise has 4 kills, 2 assists, and only 1 death. So he's just as strong right now as somebody like Karzi, who's playing the Ezreal right there. So he's looking very strong, and now G2 is going to be trying to control the game. So the next objective on the map is going to be Baron. So both teams are going to be looking to pick up the Baron. From here, if G2 win this Baron fight, their win condition will 100% spike, because if they get the Baron and they win the team fight again, they're going to win this game. Like, it's pretty much a guaranteed at this point. And a lot of it hasn't been that the Mad Lions are really bad at what they're doing per se. It's more so that they're rookies, they're newer players, they're not as experienced, and you can see that in the game. You can see that right there. They try to fight for a Drake. They took a 4v5 fight when they didn't need to. The jungler got caught out by himself, and G2 took advantage of that, forcing a 4v5 fight. Kind of, you know, stuff like that. They're doing a pretty good job at damage mitigation, but more experienced players would have a little bit more of a game sense in this case.
Now, you said at the beginning, I mean, the way that this was shaping up for G2, they were kind of trying to get their power up. They were trying to get their experience up and all that, while, you know, Mad was trying to keep them from doing that. So the way Mad would have really needed to win this game would have been to, you know, like you said, either take that that last Drake or take the Baron or win one of those fights to kind of stay ahead. Now that they're falling behind, considering that G2 was playing for the late game anyway, you would have to say that this really favored G2 at the moment, with the two of them being equal, because G2 now has a little bit of a lead, or actually they're perfectly tied right now on gold at least. But G2 was able to get up a little bit higher on some of those levels they wanted to, right?
Yeah, and G2 managed to come back, getting the picks that they needed, farming out into the late game. And the longer the game goes, the stronger Caps is going to get on this Aphelios. And the stronger he gets on this Aphelios, the harder it's going to be for Mad Lions to play. Right here, Mad Lions actually just managed to kill an important player. They actually managed to get a pick. So, oh man, that's disgusting. They don't even have vision in there. That's disgusting. Okay, so what just happened there was again rookie mistake, but essentially that was Mad Lions trying to go back to base to buy items, and the jungler just caught them out with their pants down. But what happened there was the Mad Lions got a pick on Wonder, the top laner, who's playing a very strong carry champion called Aatrox, and you can see that they had a 5v4 advantage. So they had a 5-player to 4-player advantage, and for some reason they didn't start the Baron. They could have started the Baron right there and forced G2 to fight them 5v4. That's the fight I would have taken any day. That's probably would have been their best chance at really sealing the deal here. They had both their carries up. They had their support player playing a very strong support. They got the pick on the players they needed. And for some reason, they didn't take advantage of it. They just decided to go back to base. So just, again, I don't know who's shot calling for these guys, but I would probably convince them to be a little bit more aggressive because they're playing scared now. They got a pick. They had a 5v4 situation, and they still decided that they didn't want to force a Baron fight. So it's like, what is it going to be then? Like, what is it going to take for you guys to make the move here, essentially? And you can see now that G2 is pushing the lanes. They're pushing the lanes into towers so that they force players to react. And then from there, they're going to make their way. They're going to clear out the vision wards out of the Baron pit, and they're going to make their way towards Baron. You're going to see, so it's 30 minutes in. At this point, Caps on his Aphelios has 3 items. He has he has a very strong item that he needs called the Infinity Edge completed. So at this point, it's not looking good for the Mad Lions right now. Even though it looks like the gold is even and the kills are even, I can tell you right now, just looking at this game, that you can tell right now that things are not going in their favor like they were 15 minutes ago. And because it's, every minute is a significant amount of time in a 30-minute game.
Now let me ask you a question. I know we've been talking about a lot of like on the fantasy side lately here, but is there in-game betting that goes along with this too?
Yes, there is. There is in-game betting.
Like now would be a good time to look at an in-game bet on G2, right?
Right now, the line is too far in G2's favor. 15 minutes ago would have been the better time.
Okay,
if you really believed in G2.
Yeah.
Well, that's a mistake by Perks. He got picked off right there. That was a great pick. So again, 5v4 situation for Mad Lions, and they're gonna have to give up this Drake. Okay, so G2's giving up this Drake. They're giving up the Cloud Soul to go take Baron. Okay. Yeah.
Would that not be what you would have done?
It's a bold strategy. because
Let's see if it works out for him there, Cotton.
Okay. Well, yeah. What literally what G2 just did was they essentially thought that Mad Lions were gonna all stick around and protect the dragon, and they were gonna go take the Baron. Not a bad plan, but there's an issue with this plan. You don't need 4 people or 5 people to kill a basic dragon. So they left Shadow to kill the dragon by himself, and they chased down G2, preventing them from starting the Baron immediately. So right now you can see that they don't have any vision of the Baron pit. They can't see the Baron going on, and they don't know what G2 is doing. And at this point, there's nobody that's on their team that is wise enough to say, hey, maybe we should check the Baron pit, because they're too scared to walk into absolutely no vision. G2 get a free Baron here because Mad Lions decided to go and buy items. They're relying on their Cloud Soul to carry them. This is going to lead us into one fight in the mid lane, and whoever wins that fight is going to win. Essentially, is what's going to happen. And at this point, I don't think the Cloud Soul is as important as the composition for G2, so I would still favor G2 here. But yeah, if the score was 2-6, I bet you that G2 would have been like even favorites to win this game. That's how pro they're considered. If they're down. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a quick question here to get away from this game for a minute while we watch, and if anything big happens, feel free to cut me off.
Yeah, sure.
We saw an announcement today in the world of esports, especially in the world of League of Legends. Looks like the Chinese league is going to be postponing and going on a little bit of a hiatus. Is that what I hear?
Just for one day on tomorrow.
Oh, just for one day. I thought somebody said until April 20th or something like that.
Yeah, to honor the. By the way, that was a 4-for-2 team fight for G2. So G2 has 3 people now, and Mad Lions only have their jungler. So G2 just really destroyed that fight. But what they're doing a day of commemorance for those in China and everywhere in the world who lost their lives due to the coronavirus outbreak.
Okay.
So because of that, they are postponing the games today until the 20th, which is actually fantastic for us, because one of my favorite teams to stack in my lineups is a team called Top Esports, and they were going to face FunPlus Phoenix, which is a very strong team, and I didn't want their train to get derailed. So I'm glad. I'm glad that they're postponing that game, because they were going to get their shit kicked in, and it was going to be a tough game for them to win. So now they're covering a replay for a team fight. The Mad Lions out of position, a jungler not in this case, nowhere near where he should be. Their goal was to pick off the caps on the Aphelios, and it cost them pretty much 4 members. So I would not have forced this fight, especially not with all 5 team members here. You're never going to see this type of team fight come out from a pro team or a team in like Korea. You're going to see all 5 players converging on one target. What the Mad Lions did was they kind of spread their wings a little bit too wide there, and you can see that because they're essentially relying on their AD carry to make plays when their jungler wasn't even involved until later on. Like it was weird for them to call that pick. Like I don't know what they're trying to do now, but they're waiting for G2 to run the Baron out, and yeah, they're still gonna try to team fight. I mean, these guys they're not like, I don't understand this game. Like in times when they're supposed to be aggressive, they're playing defensive, and then in times when they're supposed to be more considerate about setting up for the Elder Dragon that comes out in 2.5 minutes on the top left of your screen, they're trying to force team fights. It's like, guys, pick one or the other. Like you're either gonna fight the whole time or don't fight at all. But at this point, if I was them, I would play for the Elder Drake, and then from there, I would probably go and try to push the base down and try to force a team fight. But there's going to be a fight at the Drake in 2 minutes. But right now, the Mad Lions need to be farming, not sitting around. And yep, there's another pick by Mickey. He's got Shadow. Shadow uses his stopwatch to get away real quick. And yeah, they're going in again. Mad Lions want to fight this fight again, and they're going to lose their support player because of it. Okay. So
now, at this point, G2's, I'm looking at the numbers and the levels on G2. So G2 has managed to kind of get themselves up to the level that they wanted to, whereas Mad Lions at the beginning was the team with the higher level. Now it looks like G2 is, right?
Yeah, G2 has the higher level, but not more so in levels. You can see, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you see the items.
Right.
The items, the more items these champions get, the stronger they get. And a champion like Caps on Aphelios, the more items this guy gets, the more unkillable this champion is going to be. And long term, the more that's the champion that you favor. And it's hard for people to kill him because the whole composition is designed around basically holding out, being aggressive in the early game, and letting Caps just farm. And they didn't get that at the start. They were struggling at the start. The game started with a 4-1 kill advantage in the Mad Lions' favor. They were ahead in a lot of places. But if you look at the top laner, Arome, he's 0-5. Nico is useless in this case, so he's not doing anything. Mad Lions are essentially fighting 4v5 every fight, and now there's 30 seconds left on the Elder Dragon. The G2 needs to take this Elder Dragon and end the game. That's pretty much what their win condition is going to be here. They could actually just force a team fight and end the game as well. They could fake the dragon and try to force a team fight. But at this point, the Mad Lions need to pick off Caps, and if they don't, it's over. It's going to be very, very, very hard for them to pick off. There they go.
They just got him right there.
They just got him. So Caps guy gets caught out in the. I mean, this is like low tier play. Like if this was in Korea, a team like Gen or T1 would just embarrass you for that. Like G2 literally just brought Mad Lions back in the game. Like this is exactly what Mad Lions needed to do. They picked off a player. They picked off 2 players. They're forcing G2. They picked off 3 players.
3 players.
So now they're going to take the Cloud Soul. So if you look on the left side right now, you can see that there's death timers. So the longer you go, the more death timers you're going to have. And you can see right now that Yankos has a 40-second death timer. Caps has a 20-second death timer. So that's a lot of time. If I was the Mad Lions here, they're charging up to go try to pick off perks. Oh, no, they're going to go take the Baron. Yeah, they're going to go grab the Baron here. If I'm them, I could have probably charged down and grabbed even more of their base. Like, I mean, I get the Baron play. Like, yeah, that's good. And then that'll probably secure you the win right here. But, man, what a blow by G2. Like, they could have easily won this game. Like, it's it's so back and forth because it's like G2 makes a mistake and then Mad Lions capitalize. And then Mad Lions make a mistake and G2 comes back. And then it's like G2 makes a mistake and Mad Lions take the Elder Dragon. So now the Mad Lions have Cloud Soul, Elder Dragon buff, and they have Baron buff. So they are extremely strong right now. Their team is going to be very difficult to kill, regardless of what champions G2 is playing. And all GT has to show for it is a measly Cloud Drake. So their buffs are significantly less in this game. They haven't done enough damage to the base to really scare Mad Lions. And this next ensuing team fight, if I'm Mad Lions here, I grab everybody after Arome pushes the top lane. I grab everybody. I just run it down mid and I end the game. But that's still crazy to me that a veteran team like G2 just gave up that kind of a play. Like, and look, they know that they're losing, so they're having perks try to push this lane out because they can't face these guys. They literally can't face these guys 5-on-5 right now. So they're trying to get perks to shove top lane. As you can see at bottom right, you can see the map. So he's going to try to literally solo this by himself, hoping that the other team doesn't go back. I don't think the Mad Lions are capable of doing this. Like, I think they're going to send somebody back because they're going to try to play it safe. Yeah, you can see that they're recalling. Perks is trying to end the game himself right here. This is it. So if he breaks an inhibitor, he's going to back off. Okay. So essentially, Mad Lions just pushed the base. They didn't get anything out of it. They thought he was going to end the game, so they left. And now they're going to try to pick him off right here. And he's going to try to run away. And is he going to get away? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, okay, he gets away. So that was a really, really good move by Perks. He establishes a need for Mad Lions to react in the bottom lane. And Mad Lions didn't call his bluff. They said, they called his bluff. They said, okay, we're going to go back and we're going to take care of you and we're going to take care of you in the bottom lane. We're not going to let you push. So Perks did as much as he could here. Now that he's not there anymore, they don't have that. They decided to push the base down again. And now they're back. What are they doing? Like, just push the lane, man. Like, just push the lane. Like, you're going to win this fight. Okay, maybe you're not going to win this fight. Maybe you're not going to win that fight. Okay.
Wow, so now they're screwing this up now, and now they're opening the door to G2 again.
No.
Oh, no.
They're too strong. Yeah, they're too strong. But it was a Shadow got picked off. Like, the guy's not a good jungler. He got picked off very easily. That's why I don't bet Europe. It's like it's so back and forth. You never know what's gonna happen. Yeah, this is it. They lost. But yeah, what Mad Lions needed to do there is, so they played it right. They said, okay, Perks, we see that you're pushing the bottom lane. We're gonna go back and we're gonna go and we're going to go and make sure that you don't secure, and then we're going to come back and secure our win. That was the correct move. If I was them, I would have just pushed it down, fought it 5v4, and pushed and killed it before Perks managed to take down both towers, which they could have done. So either way, what we just watched was an epic throw fest on both sides.
Yeah, no, that actually was a lot more back and forth than a lot of the games that I've been watching lately as I'm trying to pick this stuff up. But I think that was good, and that's something that I wanted to kind of do today, especially because we had games going on at the time when we were recording. Because one of the biggest things that I keep seeing everybody say in chat is like, oh, man, I have no idea what's going on there. So I wanted to get Moose to kind of do his little play-by-play here to kind of, teach you guys all the strategy that goes along with it. And I can honestly say most of you probably had no idea how much strategy was actually involved and what the different moves that you could do in the game are. And what the different things that you could do that can help you win. And that's why I kind of wanted him to go over this, because I've actually heard him and other people do this before. And that was kind of when I realized, whoa, I have no idea what the hell was going on. And I thought I did. But you know what I'm saying? Now that you've seen it, and, this isn't the first time I've actually seen you do that or other people do that, I kind of understand the concept of the game a little more and how much strategy actually goes into it and the things that you want to do, in order to get some wins. So anything else you want to add there before we sign off? Because we're already at almost 45 minutes on this video now.
Yeah. sorry guys, that was a lot, and when I think about it, I probably didn't explain anything really anything that well, but that's kind of how my brain thinks when I watch a game. I just talk about it. I'm just explaining to you guys what happened in the game as I see it through my eyes. And we could slow it down and we could take it step by step so people kind of understand. But at the end of the day, unless you're really getting into it as deep as I am, really what you need to know is like, okay, you think about, okay, well, how do I analyze League of Legends like Moose does? Just start with the champions. Just see what champions are strong, because when the champion draft happens and you like one side more than another side and you understand how the team compositions work, you're going to have a very good understanding of the game, and you're going to have a very good understanding of who is going to win. So even though it says like, oh, this team has, they're plus 150, or, they're, $1.50 on the dollar for them to win this one map, but
Right.
they had a great draft. That's a great bet. That's kind of how it works. And so just, that's where I would start in understanding the game. Abilities, positioning, vision, stuff like that. You just pick up after years of watching. I mean, guys, there's stuff that I don't understand about League of Legends, or I have no clue about, or I sometimes question, because I'm not a pro, but I've been watching this for 11 years, like 12 years. So don't feel bad if you don't understand something. It is overly complicated. It's overly complicated for us, but I'm sure you can imagine that if you played it, and the kids that play it, they understand it because they just play it. So honestly, the best advice that I could give people is, if you want to learn this stuff, download League of Legends for free, play it for free. Yeah. just try it out. Run down the lane, force a team fight, like have fun. Show your kids the game. Play it with your siblings, play it with your kids. Do whatever, that kind of stuff. And it is a very team-oriented strategy game, and it involves a lot of thought. And you don't need to be on the level that any of the pros are to understand kind of who's going to win the game. You kind of have a good feeling. Oh, Caps picked the Felios, they have a great chance of winning this game. That's kind of like what you really need, is like, oh, he's playing a new champ. New champs are usually overpowered. That's kind of how it is.
So let me ask you a couple questions here, because with China kind of going on hiatus for today, I think we do still have a 2 a.m. game for tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, so we have. Yeah, so I guess it is April 4th in China. Tonight we have 3 games in the LCK. So just real quick, I know it's that was a hell of a game. I thought that game was going to go 20 minutes
right now, Moose. So it's not like everybody's got other stuff to do.
So just want to talk to you guys real quick. If you do sit through this video, LCK is tonight. So the League Korea is going to be tonight. You have APK Prince, who are doing a lot better the second half of the split, against KT Roaster, who are doing much better. So I expect KT to win that game. Okay. You have Sandbox and HLE. That's going to be a total shitfest, 50-50 game. I would, gun to my head, probably Sandbox. And then you have a really strong game later on, really late, 5:30 Eastern. The Juggernauts are playing. They always save the Juggernauts for the end. Gen G is playing Dragon X. A very good game. That game is not going to be the type of crap fest that Sandbox and Hanwha Life is going to be. Gen DRX is going to be a strategy game that is going to be most likely very low scoring or mid scoring, because they're very tactical. Their goal isn't to get kills. It's not Mad Lions forcing every team fight. It's how do we coordinate, play it safe type of deal, which is why China always outscores Korea, because China's strategy and Korea's strategy is a little bit different. But the earliest game tonight is going to be a good one, KT APK. Check it out if you stay up Friday night. At least watch a game or two. And, if you guys have any questions, make sure to reach out to me.
All right. So there it is. The man, the myth, the legend, the esports god over here at EliteSportsBetting.com. My boy, Elite Moose, or Moose Elite, right? At Moose Elite is the Twitter handle?
Yeah, Moose Elite, EliteSportsBetting.com, Elite Fantasy. We have DK articles posted on both websites now. So you can subscribe for the sports betting. You'll get the DK. You can subscribe for the fantasy. You'll get the DK. You get all of that. You get the sports betting. You can add me at Moose Elite. I respond to everybody. I try to. Congratulations to Brian Healy for winning a shit ton of money yesterday on DraftKings. And I didn't help him. I didn't help him at all. He played a ballsy ass composition that I would never have touched. So good for Brian.
Yeah, you turned 1,500 into about 20 grand, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, $20,000.
Yeah,
And I opened up my phone this morning, and I just woke up and I was just like, oh shit, Healy won everything.
You know what though? Oh shit, Healy won everything is something we hear quite a bit. So it doesn't matter what sport it is. That guy's
he had the balls. He played what I would call a GPP sinker. Like he played the Ted Ginn at 80 carry, and he was my X Factor play, the guy that he played, because that guy, if he loses, he gets subbed out. And Healy didn't know that. So Healy just played him anyway. He's like, this guy's sick. His stats are awesome. And so he played him. So Brian, you're the man. Congratulations, big win for him. And I'm just glad to see that the whole family's eating.
Yep, that's it. So make sure you guys get over there and check that out at EliteSportsBetting.com or EliteFantasy.com. For Moose, this is Benny signing off for another episode of The Opening Line.